Okay, good. So, okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Thanapol Piman. I'm Senior Research Fellow or Water Cluster Lead from Stockholm Environment Institute, SCI, Asia Center. So I would like to welcome all of you to the parallel site inventory section on shaping river basin future together, tools, data, and dialogue for scenario-driven plannings. So over next 90 minutes, we will explore various tools, data, and collaborative approach for the Barak-Meghna River Basin. Moving forward, demonstrate to dialogue and share insight. Please help us keep to times. I know everyone exhausting. I know everyone gain a lot of information and also want to digest. So I will try my best to manage this session to be on time. So for the rule, I would like every speaker, please manage your time effectively. As you can see from the morning until now, if you over the time, we will give you a signal, we will warn you, and then I will stop you if you cannot stop speaking. Take it easy, you know. So try to be focused and very key message. We can keep more time for interaction, discussion, and dialogue, you know. I would like this section to be a two-way communication, not only, you know, one way, just listen like a lecture presentation. So quickly, I will move to the first section on setting the scene. I would like to invite Dr. Sathit Prasad, our research fellow at SCI, to present about the wetland monitoring tools for the Meghna River Basin. So this tool is developed under the TROSA Phase 2 project that gonna use to monitor the wetland over the basin. And you can look at how the tool can engage the people and used for planning and decision support. Sathit, the floor is yours, please. Please give hand to Sathit for energy yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Thanapan. I hope you can hear me clearly. So, good afternoon, everyone. As Dr. Thanapan said, that I'll be presenting a wetland monitoring tool that we developed under TROSA project funded by CEDA and managed by Oxfam Novik. So, moving forward, why do we want to consider wetlands and why now? I think in the past 2 days we have heard so much, and I do not want to describe a lot why we need, what is the importance of wetlands altogether, but to just point out few key points. One of the most important point is they are responsible for most of the ecosystem services, provisioning services, cultural services. And I think, like we've heard in the past 2 days, how important wetlands are. Yesterday in the session when we were having proposal development, everyone was boosting and everyone was giving more funds to the wetlands. So we all know how important they are. Additionally, we know how they can support the SDGs. Moving on, as the recent global wetland outlook has come up last week or maybe 2 weeks back, and in that we have seen that the major cause of wetlands degradation is the conversion of these wetlands into croplands. And you see India and Bangladesh are among the top countries where the wetland loss has been major issue. And there has been a major loss of wetlands. So thus, it is very important for us to monitor the wetlands. Now, monitoring and mapping these wetlands comes with some challenges. These challenges are, as we all know, the wetlands are very complex systems. There is lack of data and quality of data. There are classification challenges in the wetland systems. The governments do put in a lot of efforts, but however, they are restricted sometimes by policies, sometimes by resources, sometimes by capacity, and sometimes by implementation itself. So we institutions, organizations, CSOs do need to come in and put our foot forward to help the government organizations to overcome these challenges. And then comes the existing monitoring systems that are usually restricted to a region, a small area. They lack temporal. They are restricted temporally. That means they do not have historical data, or are not timely validated or timely updated. So to overcome these challenges, we thought, why not a wetland monitoring tool? Anyways, like I've discussed, what are the monitoring gaps? The monitoring gaps are, again, not to go over them on, I'll not repeat myself. You understand that like there are existing monitoring systems, but they are very cumbersome. They do not tend to the end user needs. They lack limited spatial coverage. They are not cloud-based. Most of them are not cloud-based. And in the past 2 days, we have heard that how AI is important, in how the importance of AI has come up recently. Therefore, to sum up all these data gaps, there should be an existing platform or a tool that integrates all these monitoring gaps and lets us visualize or map the wetlands in a very timely manner. So then that's how we came up with a wetland monitoring tool. Now the vision to bring up, our vision is, based on our vision, we developed a Asia River Monitoring Platform, which houses 3 tools. One is river monitoring tool, the other is coastal erosion tool, and the third tool is wetland monitoring tool, which I'll be presenting today. Our vision is to serve as the evidence hub for rivers, wetlands, and coastal ecosystem in South and Southeast Asia by delivering validated scientific evidence that supports wide range of technical and non-technical users alike, as well as evidence-based policy making. Since we are from SCI and our mission is to support policy through research. So that is built into our vision of developing this wetland monitoring tool. I would move on and show you what our wetland monitoring tool is. So this is the homepage of our Asia River Monitoring website. Everybody can visit this website and you can scan this code. I'll pause here for a minute so that if you can use your phones to scan and visit the website, so that in the next slide I can walk through the tool. As you see here, there are 2 tools in the wetland monitoring tool. We have 2 basins as of now: Lower Songkhram River Basin and Meghna River Basin. But right now, the data is completely available for Meghna River Basin, and we are uploading the data for Lower Songkhram River Basin. This tool is completely based on Google Earth Engine, so can be updated quite quickly. The backend of the tool is the backend of the tool is shown on the right-hand side. The tool is based on remote sensing. It uses Landsat data. It is at 30-meter resolution. We are currently in the process of updating it to the Sentinel, that is 10-meter resolution, and in the future, maybe to a higher resolution of under sub 5-meter resolution. It uses technologies like thresholding, OTSU, Kenny edge detection, which are technical details, plus random forest and some of the artificial intelligence to come up with the mapping of wetlands. Now, when I move to the wetlands monitoring tool, you can see in this website, this is how our website looks like. We have 3 tools in this. Now I'm going to click on the Meghna River Basin. You can interact. You can select the years where the data is available from 1994 till 2024. We process the post-monsoon data, so we we process the post-monsoon data. You can see it selects the basin of in the Meghna, sub-basin in the Meghna. You can see how the wetlands have come up for 2020. We remove the bias of including the flood water, but only focus on perennial and permanent wetlands. You can see it includes secondary data like rainfall, digital elevation model, global wetland classification models also have been included to show the comparison. And you can see that in global wetland model, the wetland seems to be way too much, but that's not the reality. That's using the flooded data. And this can be compared with the population density as well. And on the right-hand side, once the tool shows all the parameters that are or the indicators that are included, you can see you can download the data and change the layout for your presentation, or you want to use this, because we want technical and non-technical users to use this tool as much as possible. You can download the in various formats, PNGs, Excel, or anything for your report input. Next, I will show some of the insights that we have, some of the results that we have received from Meghna River Basin. As you can see, in the past 20 years, there has been a slow and steady decline in the wetland area, and it correlates with the data that shows that is globally available. Our tool is currently at accuracy of over 90%. And one of my research interns who is present here, Ms. Talangi, she has developed a next version which achieves the accuracy of 95%. So we will be integrating or updating the data soon. And what comes next? What is the roadmap? What do we do after this tool has been shown to you or to others around the world? We want to, as I said, we want to update to higher resolution, develop a mobile application so that the end users in India and Bangladesh, or in Thailand, or in the South Asia region can actually use the data on their mobile. Since the age of technology, everybody has internet available with them. At least it's because we have the other tool, that's river erosion tool, which identifies the hotspots of erosions that has been happening in Brahmaputra, Irrawaddy, and Mekong region. So we want our tool to reach to the end users. And third is we call partners to collaborate with us in data. That's why we have asked many of you to come up with us and talk regarding how open data can make collaboration better in the Barak-Meghna Basin. May I request one more thing, because we are still in the phase of developing this tool to the final version, or a complete version where we reach all the end users. I would request you to kindly scan this Mentimeter and provide your inputs. What new features would you like in this tool? We already know that we have to incorporate the local language. We are in the process of doing that. We already know many things because of the stakeholder consultations that we have been doing. But a consortium like this, a conference like this, where people across the world or across the South Asia have come up, we want your insights so that we can make the tool more better. Are you able to scan the Mentimeter? Have you typed in your answers? Can you present the results as of?
So everyone, do you scan the Mentimeter? We give a few minutes, okay, to
Why
answer.
I did not want to go into the question and answer session. It's better we have your request logged with us so that we can work on it and give you some concrete evidence the next time when we meet, or through our updates when we are updating the website or the tool altogether.
Okay, it's coming.
Yeah,
it's
so
coming,
we see,
so-
like, this is really great, like why urban wetlands, not basin, more indices. There are actually 4 indices included. In the video, I have included only 1 indice. We have included bare soil index, wetness index, water index, and NDVI. So NDVI is the most common which everybody uses, or is known to everyone, so therefore I showed it in the video. Yes, we want the tool to be very simple. And multiple imagery access, definitely. That is why we said, like, we want to include the Sentinel. We are in talks with Planet to include the Planet data. That's why I said if we can, we hopefully in near future we'll be able to produce maps with sub 5 meter resolution. So this is such an amazing input from your end. I think you all can applause once for yourself that you have provided such great input to me.
Okay, thank you very much.
And thank you
Sathit.
so much.
Yes,
That's
so,
from my end.
Yeah. Please give a big hand to Sathit again for setting the scene. And exactly, he used 15 minutes as allocated. So very good job, Sathit. So next, I move on to the spotlight talks. So we have to distinguish guests, to provide a key message, for spotlight talk. So I would like to invite the first speaker on the stage, Mr. Sabian Datta. He is a co-founder and executive director of Asian Conference, a premium India think tank. He will be share his views on the section themes. Mr. Datta, you have 10 minutes to provide your speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. Thanks to IUCN, my friend Vishwa, for having me here, and nice to meet you all. I represent an organization, Asian Confluence. We are a think tank, think and do tank. We are located in the northeast of India, in the state of Meghalaya. And we work on essentially advocacy of policies. So somebody like me, I do interact a lot with the government. And at the same time, we also do interact a lot with communities, organizations on the ground. Now, over the last 2 days, and as a partner of this the Meghna Forum since 21, and having worked with IUCN even before that, we have always been talking about this very big divide that exists. The discourse we have in this room, the amount of knowledge we have in this room. Thank you, Prasad, for your, am I audible? Yeah? Okay. We all know the issues, actually. We all know the issues, and every time we meet, we repeat and we talk to ourselves that, this is the need of the hour. And then, when we sometimes interact with the government, they also know what they're doing. There is a rationale there also. The issue, I think, is there is a divide, and there is a need for convergence and more sharings. So at Asian Confluence, we have been talking about something called what we call the third space. The third space is basically discussions which involve government, involve businesses, involve civil society, technical civil society organizations, technical organizations, scientific organizations, but out of the purview of the treaties and the diplomatic arrangements, or the business arrangements, or the activist mode that sometimes civil society is known for in this part of the world. And with that, I think I would like to share, with this background, I'd like to share just very few insights. Friends, I think we are living in a very trying times. We are living at a time when the global order is changing. So when we are talking about discourses between countries, collaborations between countries, we are talking at a time when we see a tectonic shift in the way global powers are working. Global collaborations are working. You talk about it, whether it's the UN or the other organizations or the various multilateral organizations. Sometimes we question multilateralism itself nowadays. And then there are issues that cascade out of that into something like, how can India and Bangladesh talk to each other about the Meghna, for example? Or how can we talk to Myanmar? Something we have sometimes just, let's remember that even Myanmar is part of the Meghna, part of it, right? Or how do we even take examples from the Mekong? So the knowledge exists, the know-how exists, but how do we do this? So I have a very, so at Asian Confluence we have been rattling our minds about what is the lowest common denominator that we should talk about in the next few times to come. And this is my, I'd like to present this to you just to say that give us your inputs and let's be a part of it together. So I have just one slide actually, and that is this. We have to master, we have to think about the art of dealing with these 3 C's. And the 3 C's at the very sub-national levels. I'm not talking about India-Bangladesh trade or treaties or, I'm talking about what can Sunamganj do with, Dauki, or what can Ranikor do with, just across the borders, essentially. What can local communities do to collaborate? Because that is where, beyond politics, beyond the global shifts, beyond the national politics, there is a lot of groundwork that can be achieved. And I believe that that itself will be the impetus for taking forward the narratives going up. So using the kind of tools that Prasad was talking about, or the kind of initiatives that IUCN has been doing, or for that matter Asian Confluence has been doing as part of our very several roundtables, dialogues, publications, we keep doing, or the other organizations are doing. Can we look at ground level stories that can come up, percolate up the knowledge chain? Because what we want to achieve, we all know what we want to achieve at the end of the day. So I will start with, culture. Because culture is something that I think has a lot of value in trying to highlight. When I talk about culture, it's not only about song and dance. It's about the culture, the lifestyle, the food habits, the very fundamental denominators of the lifestyle of the communities on both sides of the border. Now, this was beaten a long time before also, but when the governments of the day talk to each other, big treaties are being signed, nobody cares about culture. But today, when nobody is talking to each other, I think culture is the way out. So, can we think about locally, very local tourism circuits food exchanges, seed bank exchanges, those kind of things that can, sharings between young poets, young, the creative economy at the borders, local songs, dances, something that brings people together across, centered around their life around the rivers. The second thing I would say is about building capacity. And at Asian Confluence, what we have been doing is, in the state of Meghalaya, we've been training. Over the last 18 months, we've trained about 1,000 women, workers, village health workers actually, to use their say as village health workers, because health is a great entry point into the rural communities. And we have been training them about how to reach out using their clout in their local areas to go out and talk about things like rivers, things like wetland preservation, even identifying that this is a wetland and not a drain. So we've been launching several, I'll not get into the other slides because I have, in interests of time, but we've been reaching out to them. So you'll be happy to know that there is a lot of people now, at least in the border areas in the state of Meghalaya, and now we've expanded to the state of Arunachal Pradesh, and we are replicating in the state of Tripura, and we plan to take this forward, of reaching out to women village workers, and through them to the youth, to how to use their clout in their local areas to identify and make use of some of the tools. So people here who are making tools, who are developing various toolkits, we'll be very happy to sort of see how these can be docked into reaching out to those people who should actually be using the tools. Yeah? So that is the second thing. The third thing I would say is the economy. Because of the various factors that are at work, the economy at the border areas are floundering. People are in great distress. Border trade is not happening. This is also a very big disruptor, but it is also an opportunity, because suddenly we see that the movement of limestone across the big trucks of limestone have reduced, the cutting of hills has reduced. So this is a great opportunity for other types of commercial activities, such as, agriculture, crafts, other types of activities to come up. And this is an area where we are trying to, at Asian Confluence, through our various outreach mechanisms, we do talk a lot, we do sit at the table in a lot of the track 1.5 or track 2 diplomatic events, and we do engage. And we as an organization are trying to bring that discourse into the discussion on economic development, and how the countries, for example, you'll be happy to know that yesterday I was talking to some people in the Thai Foreign Ministry, and they've been engaged with the creative economy in the northeastern region. So this is something India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Myanmar, Bhutan can be together on that. I'll leave it at that. I think I have not overstepped my time exactly. But if there are any further questions, we can talk about it later on. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Dutta, and please give the big hand to Dr. Dutta to keep your time. I think you have really provide some great insights. He already emphasized that the knowledge exists. Many knowledge, and also we know the issue about the Barak-Meghna River. And he emphasized the missing part is how to bring people to work together. And his spot message is focus on the border area, that culture, people are living close to each other. If we can create that momentum, this can scale up, to the province or national level to have more kind of mechanism, to address this kind of challenge together. So next, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Mostafia Rahman, Chief Specialist and Director GIS Division from CE GIS Bangladesh. He will be speaking on geospatial study in basin management of Bangladesh, a case study of Meghna Basin. Please take your time for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I have a number of slides, but I'm trying to keep it very short. To go the slide, the presentation is the background of the Meghna Basin, GBM Basin, Meghna Basin, key features, geospatial study and aspects, geospatial resource of the Meghna Basin areas and some geospatial studies like flood monitoring, damage assessment, river course shipment, water extent monitoring, resource mapping, web portal development, and profile analysis. The GBM Basin, all we know about this, I'm not go detail about this. We have the big three basins in this region, and we have 57 transboundary river, 54 in India and 3 with Myanmar. And the Meghna Basin is most part of the India and only 30% part of the in Bangladesh, but that is very low elevations area. It is about 1 to 15 meter elevations is 86% above in here. There are 23 catchment transboundary watershed in here. 11 are Meghalayan catchment. In Bangladesh, there are 7 districts in the Howrah areas and Meghalaya Basin, and it covers 44% seasonal wetlands in these areas. I'm skipping this slide. The key features is that a unique wetland system, rich aquatic biodiversity, habitat in migratory birds, fertile soil, one single crop in here. It is oftenly damaged by pre-monsoon flood. Severe flash flood during the pre-monsoon season, sediment fan rivers in here. Total population is 20 million in 7 Howrah districts by 2022. The high poverty level, the most area are vulnerable areas, and poor communications, health and education, and threatened to climate change in everyone discussed in here. Some of the web action in here to damage the villages. The rainfall pattern up in this area. The main geospatial aspects is data acquisition, application development, visualization of the geospatial data, and spatial analysis in data management. Mostly these 4 actions to support the decision makers and policy makers to address the challenges of these areas. So we developed a number of data sets in different sectors, different aspects, and there are so many geospatial database, attribute information, satellite images, photogrammetry, and some other technology we are using now, the drone, survey, aerial photograph, using the different GIS software and techniques, and the data sources from different government agencies, private agencies, and international agencies. Some other geospatial resource we have. We are also developing the watershed delineation, monitoring the seasonal wetland, river morphology study, land use, land cover changes, flood mapping and monitoring, land profile analysis, flood incidents, climate risks and damage, resource mapping we're also doing, and also developing the web application for integrating the all geospatial data and analytical tools. Delineation of some basin bottom. It is about 100 kilometer long and 40 kilometer width. The slope is varies 15 centimeter to 25 centimeter per kilometer. A river is flowing through the east to west, and in the bottom areas, the river is moving through north to south. Some land profile, we see the deepest part of the howard is the, and this is the seasonal wetland monitoring. It is a dry season image, and these are the Tangwar howard is wet season, so it's completely submerged. And this also we did it is flood incidence map. The deepest part, the middle of the part is the almost 100% area flood incidence is here, and some other part is the different flood incidence every year. It is monitored by the radar satellite image. Some pre-monsoon flood we also monitor. This is the April pre-monsoon flood extent in different year. 2017 is something different. It's every April is very low areas, but in April 17 is very big areas. It's 29% about this total areas. That is interesting. Is also flood monitoring is it is normal year flood in the June, and also the June 2022 there is a big flood in this area. Big areas, almost more than 50% areas are flooded in this area. Due to April 2027, we see the big water extent is there. Earlier image, and now we see that due to that flood, we see the big crop losses. And this 15,900 hectares are losses due to the pre-monsoon flood in 2017. This is long-term river course shifting. This is a 1776 river, Shurma, Kushira, and these are the Shurma River in black color, and these are the red color in 2010. So we see century scale. We are also monitoring the century scale river shifting, and in the middle of the river are shifting to the south to north. That is due to the high subsidence in these areas. Some resource map, we also identify the deeply flooded area, floodplain areas, and foothills areas. This is deeply flooded howard areas, and floodplain areas howard, and foothills areas howard. Some resource mapping. We also developed some river network in different satellite images, water bodies, settlements, and some other data sets we also developed for the mapping and planning and analysis. Also, we developed the web portal development incorporating the, during 2010, there is a master plan in the howard areas. We develop a integrated howard resource database, and that period we developed around 200 geospatial data layers incorporating the database, and also we developed a web portal, that have the visualize the data visualization tool and then other tools to analyze that data to use for the planning purpose. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Rahman, to present very excellent spatial mapping and analysis for Meghna Basin. I think it's very valuable knowledge and information to use for the next section in the panel discussion. So now I would like to move to the panel section. Today we have 5 delegates, from different organizations to discuss about the two data and dialogue, and also driven scenario planning in the Barak-Meghna Basin. So first, I would like to invite Dr. Sodip Minta. Dr. Minta is currently the head and professor at School of Agro and Rural Technology and the founding head of the Center of Disaster Management and Research at India Institute of Technology, Guwahati, Assam, India. Please give a hand to Dr. Mitra. So next, I would like to invite Mrs. Sushita Rawal. She leads the Open Contracting India initiative at Civic Data Lab, focused on public finance and climate actions, encompassing research, policy engagement, and knowledge management. Please give the big hand to Mr. Lawan. Next, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Goswami, Water Resource Department, Assam. He has experience in flood and erosion management sector for at least 33 years in Brahmaputra and Barak River. Next, Mrs. Subiti Kimare from Isimot. She served as integrated water resource management analysis at Isimot. She has played a strategic role in hydropower planning and river basin development across Nepal. Please give a big hand to her. So, and the last one from Mr. Devilsi Barawas. So if I pronounce you wrong, please apologize. It's our young professionals at the table. He is from School of Planning and Architecture. He is here to present his view on his work on community through participatory GIS in Barak-Meghna Basin. Dear all panelists, you have 6 minutes to answer my question. So I understand that you have aware about the question and prepare your answer. So please keep your time. So I first start with Dr. Mintra. Your research linked with the climate smart agriculture, with the greenhouse gas and disaster risk management in a scenario driven planning tool for the Meghna Basin. What concrete data, layer, or decision rule would you prioritize so that farming practice both lower emission and strengthen community resilience to flood and drought? So the floor is yours, Dr. Mitra, please.
Thank you very much, and thank you to IUCN for having me here. And this is actually, a question that which a part of that already we have seen in Dr. Sati's presentation. So at IIT Guwahati, we are working very closely with the government of Assam, and my colleague Dr. Goswami is sitting here. And just now I heard from my, sitting next to me, Ms. Rawal said that she also works very closely with Assam State Disaster Management Authority, which actually IIT Guwahati is like a second home. So it's good to know. And to answer your question is that I think most of us sitting here, we are aware of that these kind of technical things when you want to analyze, especially in GIS or remote sensing platform, or even say in any kind of policy model or tools, definitely there will be couple of layers. So few layers he has shown in his presentation, like all the soil, water, weather. Many a times, of course, we get confused. Even people who are working weather or climate, they mix it up. But by now, I am sure that in this hall, everybody of us, we are aware of that. These two are different things. So, and then, of course, there are many things. Now, since yesterday, we have been hearing a lot about NBS. I remember when I was studying as a student, 1994, during my master's, one teacher came and said that we should have solution which is integrated with the natural system. So that is only nature-based solution. The terminology has changed. So I feel that it was earlier also, our community also has used it. Probably we didn't have terminology like NBS. So if you want to do this kind of solution, definitely there has to be few other parameters which are closely linked with the community. And we have been trying in IIT Guwahati, along with Assam government, Meghalaya government, and very recently we got a project for the first time, JICA, which is a Japanese funding agency. We got that project for capacity building for entire Northeast. So we have 8 states. So leaving Arunachal, which all of us sitting here, that Japan officially doesn't have diplomatic relation with Arunachal for certain regions. So rest all 7 states, we are trying to develop utilizing such kind of tools to develop the capacity of state disaster management authorities of all states. This is a project, huge project, which has been launched by us along with the State Disaster Management Authority of all the northeastern state. Though it is by SDMA, but all these things, even this is for the information of my good friend Mr. Sinha, Biswaranjan Sinha, that even in this project, which is primarily designed for SDMS, but there also NBS is coming. And there also we are talking about ecosystem, eco-based solution, nature-based solution, everything is coming. So probably that it would be interesting also to see that how some of our learning which we are doing, because I find that this area and northeastern India, Bangladesh, these are all actually having more or less similar kind of issues in hand. And Faisal Bhai today, before this session, said that we cannot work in silos. So probably that I can at least say in this forum that if somebody needs information about this project that we are doing, I will be happy to share, because today's days the problem is that even though we are meeting everywhere, but sharing information and data still is a constraint. So I would be happy to share more about that project and result, where we are utilizing certain tools, including all those parameters that you have mentioned. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Mitra. So it's very important that you mentioned about now for the new approach, we have to consider a community based, to sharing the information, and second also consider the nature system. Actually, the concept is there for long term, but yeah, I think not only Brahmaputra, Meghna, I'm working a lot in the Mekong also. We are aware, but we are not protect them. So now we come to a challenge how to trade off between the development and nature, So that's why I think we don't need to repeat this pathway again. If we start from now, I think it's much better to look at approach from the bottom up, So that's very important. So next, I'm moving on from the core research to data transparent and diplomacy. Very interesting. So my next question to Mr. Lawan about how transparent and interoperable data is critical for cross-border river basin governance. So please, Ms. Lawan. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Pinman, and good afternoon, everyone. I mean, we've been talking a lot about collaboration, engagement, and how we can work together. So I'm going to briefly talk about Civic Data Lab. So at Civic Data Lab, we work at the intersection of data, technology, design, and to see that how they can all help in strengthening data for public good ecosystem. Wherever we work, our approach has always been to begin with opening up of data, whether it is government budget data, whether it is procurement data. Before I started engaging with Civic Data Lab, I was not even aware that government in India have been spending close to $530 billion every year on public procurement. So this is all our money, this is taxpayers' money. So at least we have right to understand that where this money is going, how it is being spent, and at the same time also being able to understand that how we can engage with it meaningfully. So till the time the data is not available in open formats, and it is not available in a format which is easy to understand for us as a citizen, it will not make any sense for us. So I think whatever work we do, our first motto is to open up data. We then collaborate with different data use cases which are already existing in the geographies where we start to engage, to understand that what has already been done, where are the gaps, challenges, where we can actually pitch in and together we can come to a common solution. And that's how we always work towards co-creating data collaboratives, coming up with data solutions, digital platforms that can actually help in solving the problem. And capacity building and training has always been at the core of our work, because we always feel that till the time people are not even aware, they do not have capacity to understand data gaps, how will they question, how will they come up with their demands? So, and they will not be able to own up the solution that we are creating. So creating solution is one thing, but also building capacity of different stakeholder groups involving in it is at the key of our work. We have always been of the belief that strengthening data ecosystems, breaking information silos, and using AI-enabled, AI is now something which is really picked up. So using AI-enabled tools, we can definitely work towards conserving wetlands. So, I mean, all of us here are of the opinion, I think I've been hearing that from last 2 days, that things have to go hand in hand. Like research have to be backed with data solutions. We have to come up with the digital tools that can help government. So I think all this together can definitely help in conserving wetlands, which is the common motto here. So taking forward that, I'm going to introduce our intelligent data solution for disaster risk reduction. We have created this in association with Government of Assam, specifically Assam Disaster Management Authority. This is an open access, data-driven, AI-enabled platform that basically integrates different data sets at one place. So it comes with data sets on public procurement, on government budgets, social economic vulnerability indicators, satellite data, data on losses and damages, state disaster relief funds data. So all of that is available at one platform in interoperable, machine-readable format. And since the data sets have been made interoperable, through these, we are able to generate analytical insights. It generates reports that are actually being used by the officials to make data-driven, evidence-based decision-making, not only for immediate response, but also for long-term preparedness. And this solution has been launched early this year in Assam in a high-level event by 2 ministers, in the presence of 2 ministers. And we are happy to share that in this monsoon season, it has been used for monsoon planning. And it has been implemented as well. I'll take just 1 more minute to talk about the challenges that we have faced. I mean, we all have been talking about Data availability, data standards, quality of data, that has definitely one of the challenges that we have also faced. We also realized that there is very weak or no coordination between different departments. And while we just sat here and we realized, oh, both of us are working with ASDMA, working on similar issues, but we don't know each other. So that happens with departments as well. They are working on they are working for similar objective, but they don't know what other is doing. So how will they be able to, so they all are spending money on same kind of research. So at least bringing them on same page, and also building their capacities, because at times officials and frontline workers both are hesitant in doing something because they are not confident enough. So that is, these are, and for recommendations, I also, I agree with Dr. Mitra that we all need to collaborate. All our data sets, our data repositories, our risk score models, everything is available on GitHub. We are strong supporters of open data movements, and that's what we also here try to promote, that whatever work all of us do, we have to try to adhere to Creative Commons attribution so that all of us can use each other's work and does not start from scratch. So in the interest of time, I'll stop here, and I would like to play a very short video to take you through the platform. And I'm here for I'm here tomorrow and would be happy to answer any questions right now or over conversations. Thank you. If the video can please be played.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rawan. During we waiting for the video, I think you emphasize again that it's a lot of information, but the barrier is how to make people talk each other, to share more information. And I think the open access is one big step already to breaking the silo of science, to go beyond, the silo approach or deep data analysis. Yes. Ready? Okay. Go. Yes, see? So, okay, that's why I think one thing that we are facing now, we have able to access a lot of data. I think we have to face another challenge, how consolidate, analyze the data or tool that existing, around the world. So that's why I think we need to also think about synergy, and collaboration, to develop this kind of information and tool that can be used for wider user, or maybe to synergy or add on each other, rather than every time it's new concept, new tool, new version, It's difficult to follow on this, yeah.
Yeah, that's why if I can just quickly add, that's what I said, that let's all our data be in open repositories. Let it be there in open formats, in open, let's support open movements so that we do not have to start from scratch. So maybe next tool that comes will be an addition to what we are doing, rather than repeating what we have already done. And that's what I also feel, and that's the motto, let's collaborate, engage,
it offers multiple
and meaningfully
visualization
co-create things rather than confusing citizens and officials to which one to choose from. So,
okay. Thank you, Mr. Lawan. So next, I would like to invite Dr. Goswami. As you know that Assam Flood Control and Riverbank Protection Scheme have generated a wealth of performance data. Which 2 or 3 reasons do you think from those projects should be hardwired into the basin-wide scenario tools so planner can test the real-world feasibility of proposed intervention before they move to the implementation? So please.
Thank you, Dr. Piman. Water Resources Department of Government of Assam has been given the mandate of giving protection to the people from the risk of flood and erosion. And based on this mandate, the department has started its work way back in 1955, right after the declaration of the National Flood Policy. And till date, the department has created a huge infrastructure in the state, more than 5,000 kilometers of embankment, more than 900 numbers of anti-erosion works and major town protection works, almost more than 1,000 major and major sluice gates, cross drainage works all across the state, all along the rivers, mainstem Brahmaputra, Barak, and its tributaries. So these activities were started this embankment construction activity were started way back in 1950s and 1960s and 70s, and most of them are relatively old and they have outlived their age. The major restoration work has been done under different programs supported by the Government of India, like flood management program, and also recently we have been, from last 15 years, we have been very actively working and getting funds from the multinational development banks like ADB and World Bank. And with this, we have in fact started planning in a different way. We have started planning in an integrated way. Right now, we have started planning for the basin-wise planning for 3 major river tributaries of Beki, Buridihing, and Jiadhal in all across the state of Assam and Upper Assam, Lower Assam, and Middle Assam. And these, in fact, has been done with an integrated manner, and we have already started this integrated flood and erosion risk management program plan, preparing the plan. And I will suggest that whatever new interventions is done in new areas, in fact, it should be done after this plan is prepared, then the investment will be more effective. So this is the one way forward, and this kind of integrated plan is being developed for other tributaries also in stages, and the Barak River Basin, in fact, will also be included in due course of time. Barak has more or less more than 760 kilometers of embankment, and also has more than 400 sluice gates. Many of them are smaller and medium type of sluice gates. And my answer to another part of the question is what we have, what is the takeaway from what we have, our experiences say that these embankments is not a solution. That we understand also that embankment is not a solution, but there is a situation that we cannot do away with this. We'll have to have, because you have more than 520 persons per square kilometer population in the area, and still people are coming to us for protection. So we know that beneficial use of a floodplain starts only when people get protection. So this is why the embankments we cannot downplay. We'll have to, live with that. And for this, in fact, is this integrated planning, means giving the proper flood passage to the floodplain is very important. And whatever plan is done at the upstream and the catchment, it has to be fit into the plan. And if you move according to the plan, then our damages and in future adaptability will be good. Second part is that with our experience for riverbank protection work, we have done extensive riverbank protection work in all across the mainstem Brahmaputra, Barak, and its tributaries. Our understanding is that it should be an adaptive one. There should not be a very typical kind of thing that we'll do this only for this. There should not be a fixed standard. In fact, whatever standard that has been designed by the Central Water Commission, Government of India, at many places we have found that this is not sufficient. These standards needs to be modified and adapted based on the vulnerability of the situation. This is another key takeaway, that the standards like Barak Valley has also severe problem of sloughing. In many parts of the this Barak River in that area has severe sloughing. One is Panchgram area, where it is repeatedly that area is being sloughed. Now this has been a flyover is being put up to address this situation. These are unique situations, and for this we need to have unique solutions for those areas also. And throughout the day and yesterday also we have been hearing about the nature-based solution. And in fact, this has been a very focal point for the department now, because all along we had this hard engineering done for last several decades. Now we are focusing extensively on the soft part also. And as this has been included with in both major ADB and World Bank projects, we have already included in the design monitoring framework of both the projects. We already have collaborated with IIT Guwahati. Dr. Mitra is already there. He is also part of the team for both the projects. 2 separate MOUs is being signed. One has already been signed, then work has already been started. Under the World Bank, we are going ahead with the nature-based solutions for the tributaries in different categories, for bank protection work, or how the flood embankments can be protected from the soil degradation, and how the land can be reclaimed with the nature-based solution. So with this, we can go a little bit aggressive in the sense that we lose areas year by year because of erosion. Now, likewise, the river also gives us with new land. So how to, gainfully utilize this land by using this nature-based solution so that it can be made part of the floodplain system. And this is the thing, this is for the both tributaries as well as mainstem Brahmaputra. We have been categorized different areas of intervention, how the intervention will work, and how the new species selection and the technology that is required for implementing this kind of work. We already have collaborated with IIT. They are giving us the technical support, and we will be doing. And of course, the local community will be involved in monitoring and supervision for these works. Okay. This will be a very good, maybe within 2 years' time, this will get some result out of this. And third one is the wetland restoration.
Koswa, you have to...
Yes, I will just wrap up in 1 minute.
Yes, please.
Then third part is the wetland restoration. NESAC has already, based on the research feedback from ISRO, NESAC has already identified 271 number of wetlands in Assam, but we have now started 15 numbers of wetland as a pilot basis with the funding from National Disaster Mitigation Fund. That is now in the process of sanction. And once it is done, this wetland restoration will be a pilot study. It will be utilized for rejuvenation and flood storage. So once it is done, if we get good feedback, then we'll replicate to other areas, including Barak Valley and other areas. Okay. So with this, I wind up.
Okay, very, very concrete kind of sharing lesson. But I think I'm very glad to hear that now there is a term of adaptation, in the planning or the design. As you know now, I think world is dynamic, climate is dynamic, but our standard, our policy is still rigid and old. So how to make... It's okay? Okay, good. So how to update the standard, how to make it more flexible standard, that is your key message. It's very good guidance. So next, I would like to hear from other regions. So my next question is to Mr. Kimire. Ms. Kim from ECMOD Integrated Hazard Assessment for SKH, hydropower project, combined upstream geomorphology with downstream risk analysis. I think it's very interesting to hear from you how to coordinate between upstream and downstream when we have the big or large intervention, you know. Thank you, please.
Thank you, Dr. Thanapon, for the question. So to begin with, the River Basin Initiative in ICMOD works in the HKH region, and this very initiative actually is focused on connecting the upstream to downstream linkages, on carrying out activities that would work not in silos but in an integrated manner. We have different approaches to it. So we have this integrated river basin management approach where all the upstream and downstream linkages are linked, where we give training to the government officials of the member countries, and also it's an open call to the private sectors. So over there, we have an integrated solution where all the participants are given a basic understanding of how the concept of IWRM can be incorporated in a basin management, be it in a sub-basin level, be it in a catchment level, or in a watershed level. And then there are tools, guiding tools like SWOT, solid and water analysis, SPY tools, to carry out these analysis in climate scenario driven approaches, and then these also combined with the institutional and government frameworks along with other operational areas like nature-based solutions on how we operated it in a basin system or in a catchment or in a watershed. So this is the top to bottom approach that we are looking after, and the other one is we are also working on this bottom up approach, where we've heard that there are numerous departments working in silos, but we've come up with an integrated manner of carrying out WIFI study, water, energy, food, and ecosystem, and that too from the very bottom-up level, where we carry out the study and then which is conducted on the basis of reaching out to the local communities, and then after that we move towards the policy level recommendations, that too from the local level, then comes to the provincial level, and then comes to the national level. So that is how we are working on it, and ICMOD's mandate is in its HKH region, but I believe we are currently working on it, and after its success, maybe it can also be replicated in the Meghna Basin.
Wow. Thank you very much for your valuable experience to give the key message on participation approach. You know, link with the community through the assessment is a key of this kind of success. So I move quickly to the young professionals in the panels. So I would like to ask Mr. Give me a second to pronounce your names. I have a kind of keyword, you know, so I have to read it too. Okay. So Mr. Devoshi, Bahawas, am I right? Yeah. Okay. I think Thai language is already difficult, so his name is make me a challenge to pronounce. So you work on equitable urban development and sustainable mobility. How might data-rich river corridor tools help local planners design riverine town in the Meghna Basin? So I think it's very good to hear, the voice from the young professional, and I believe that the problem right now that we have, I think we have to look into the new gen to help us to solve the problem. Even now, I don't believe that I can help to solve the problem at the moment, you know. So please, yeah.
Thank you. These questions are for all of us to introspect upon. I would just like to talk about a little what can be done in the Barak-Meghna Basin from the perspective of spatial planning in general. So we often say that rivers shape civilizations, but in this region, rivers also taste them through flooding, erosion, and exclusion. So can we reimagine the towns and villages in this region which are data-informed and are community-led models of resilience and sustainability. Here in this forum, we have discussed a lot about various kind of geospatial platforms which can help us track river course changes, embankment breaches, or even encroachment. But have our master plans or land use zoning or our building codes been updated along with them? Under the AMRUT scheme or the mission of the Government of India, there have been many GIS-based master plans that have been prepared all across the country, which have solved the problem to a certain extent, but still we are a long way back. Like we often designate in our master plans these floodplains as no development zones, but we have to think of these as multi-purpose spaces, such as floodable parks or urban common spaces. Because we can also think of tools such as land management tools, such as transferable development rights, where riverside landowners or marginal farmers can be issued development rights certificate, and this can be traded in high development density zones where it is safer to go for dense built development. In 2024, the Bangladesh government did, included provisions for these transferable development rights, but I am not aware of its implementation status. But in India's northeast, we do have the legal mandate in Assam for transferable development rights, but their implementation is yet to be seen. But in other parts of India, such as states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Andhra Pradesh, they have been very successful in using land management tools such as the transferable development rights. So we have to seriously introspect upon using these tools and contextualizing their application in the Barak-Meghna Basin. Second, coming on to the mobility, the movement of people and freight. So mobility in the region is not just about movement of people or the freight, but it's about who moves, how they move, or how safely they are moving, especially during the monsoon isolation period. So in the US, they have these very widely used tools called the Trails Toolkit, where they are using GIS and community-based inputs to repurpose defunct railway lines for upgrades for these marginalized communities. So here we can use similar kind of approach for maybe ferry routes, for maybe raised walkways, bamboo walkways in the char areas. Also, while we are talking about a lot of these ideas for climate resilient growth in this region, we also need to talk about, as have been discussed in the previous sessions too, how do we fund this? The answer may actually lie in the climate impact of what we are building. So there may be experts here about climate financing, carbon credits. So this Howard restoration, maybe engineered green belts they are building, they can be used for these credits, carbon credit mechanisms under the Vera and the gold standards methodologies. We can think of shifting in a particular feasible route. We can pilot the project where we can shift the freight traffic from diesel trucks to electric river boats. So inland waterways are a very critical component of life in Bangladesh. But we also have to think about how do we make a sustainable transition? How do we use alternative fuels? How do we make the transportation safer for these vulnerable residents? So because metro railway networks, they have been very successful in using these model shift crediting mechanisms. Delhi Metro Rail Corporation has been, using these mechanisms to earn revenue, extra revenue, by showing how much people, how much carbon offset is being made, like using metro instead of their private vehicles. So this can be very, transformative tools in making the local governments, making the local transport corporations financially sustainable in the region. So, coming for the Barak-Meghna Basin, we do not need a single, blueprint. We need context-specific, adaptable strategies that can, adjust to the unique realities of the different, geographies of the region, because there are riverine settlements, there are, many hilly places in the northeast within the basin. So we need context-specific layered strategies for all of this region. So we have to think and plan about flood buffers that not only heal rivers, but also, think of inclusionary zoning. How do we not divide the cities? Land policies that not only, benefit the big real estate developers, but also bring the marginalized communities into the roadmap. So resilient plans should also look for that the most marginalized does not only have the roof to stay, but also a role to play. Because when we are talking a lot about this participatory planning or participatory appraisal methods, here in this context, participatory GIS has been increasingly becoming a very transformative tool in this scenario. So we might have many skeptics about participatory GIS, but when we talk about participatory GIS, it's not a rejection of the rigor of the traditional geospatial or the remote sensing-based GIS, but it's rather a reorientation of power. The IUCN's EU team have really demonstrated well the use of participatory GIS in the Kachar region of Assam. So participatory GIS should, have to transform beyond this, shoreline mapping to even they have been in the Western context. They have been increasingly be used even in transportation, planning, even planning for housing, settlement planning. So we have to think beyond ecosystem restoration to other contexts as in this critical socially and economically vulnerable region. So if we want plans that work not just on paper but also on screens, we have to think that planning should be a shared act. So in this context, I would like to quote a famous, line that was said by Dr. Bhupen Hazarika, music maestro, who is very popular both in Assam and Bengal. In Assamese, we say that Jibonar Hotat Bohi Janagane Gorigol Itihak. English translation is that flowing with the currents of life, people build history. So planning is for people, definitely, but it must be also with people. That I believe is the path forward for climate resilient growth in the riverine and the hilly settlements of these ecologically vulnerable and socially sensitive Barak-Meghna River Basin. Thank you.
Thank you, Barawas. So now I would like to give a floor to the audience. I feel everyone very exciting, a lot of information along the day, etc. So if you have any questions to the panel audience in front of me, and also two speakers from Spotlight or even Satit Prasad on his setting the scene, could you please share your view, but please mention about your name and organization before you asking the questions. Not much people. So should I then? I have one question to all the panel. I think now I just would like to hear a concrete example on how Barak-Meghna Basin, try to cooperate or, sharing information or create a mechanism that, bring people together to talk like transparent and openness in example, concrete example that you can show some good idea, because I think I heard a lot of panel that you have a lot of barrier to working collaboratively, yeah. So people are more concentrated or focused on their own job, So any good example on unpack this kind of silo approach to collaborative approach, in your maybe experience, it can look into across the sector, like you try to work with other sector, or maybe across the vertical level, like from the national to the bottom level. If you can give some concrete example, I still like confused, in action, how we gonna move forward. Like you mentioned, we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of data, we have a lot of tools, but I feel like we have limited like mechanism to bring people, to work together. So any idea from the panel, please?
Just take your, this is my favorite question to answer. You know that it depends on trust.
Yeah.
So even within a family also, even after a certain time, within brothers and sisters also sometimes we hide something, right? This is human nature. Now, how to win trust? I think that some individuals are born with that kind of, character, that they can easily win the trust of other person. And I'm sure that in this hall, few people are here. Some would be very, very, having that quality to get the trust. We need that kind of people in the leadership. Because I don't think that it is impossible. I have plenty of examples that currently we are doing. And one example, just sitting here, both of us, we work with the Assam State Disaster Management Authority. The Chief Executive Officer, who just has been, shifted to another department. But for 4 years or 3.5 years, the way that he could get our trust, and on the other hand, we also win his trust. So we could able to share our data without any kind of hesitation. And they also share some of their information, which is, normally government people don't like to share. So I would say that it is the trust. Everybody thinks that his or her data is something which will fetch a Nobel to him. It is not the case. So it's simple that I think that we need to know each other well. So if I know you well, then rest of the professional thing will be addressed easily. So that is how actually in academics also we see that collaboration are successful when two individuals are personally connected well.
Good.
So that would be my suggestion. And if you want example, there are plenty. I can give a list that we are doing fantastically in a collaborative manner. I can give you one example because many friends are from here, from Bangladesh. I have a PhD student right now, and she is from Bangladesh. She is doing PhD at IIT Guwahati. Her topic is Brahmaputra, India side, Bangladesh side, okay? Transboundary kind of stuff. So she is right now in Bangladesh collecting data. In Bangladesh also I have many friends, professors and others. And when she went to different offices, she could not able to even, get any information. Then I started sending WhatsApp messages to these friends, and they say that, okay, fine, we will get the data information. So that is what I think that I feel that it can be sorted out.
Very, very good, Kap. On your key in terms of trust, I think that is also very important for transparency river management. And I also experienced in the Mekong. So at this stage, building trust is a kind of ultimate goal to getting more cooperation. But I think the first start to build the trust, what is that? Yeah. So the keyword that I have in mind is, I always say, when you start sharing the data, you already start collaboration. So that's why this Meghna knowledge is one of that thing. If you come here and you don't share anything, nowhere to build trust. But if you open the box and share something first, get something back, this kind of interaction is going to be bring your personality, bring your kind of perspective, to build the trust together. And your example also good that the trust doesn't mean you have to do common approach. We can do also in common way or informal way, to do that. So I got the time cut right now because I think people now start hungry. So, okay. Okay,
Just,
very
one-
short,
one
very
very
short.
short.
Maybe
This-
also the,
Just wanted one example is the WARIS, India WARIS. Water Resources Information System that has already been done under a National Hydrology Project. This is pan-India. You can get the latest information about the water resources system, Barak, Brahmaputra, all other tributaries. This is being gradually populated with more data, more coverage, and this process has already started. And in fact, we water resources, we also have the state data center. We'll be also have the public interfaces for those state WARIS also. This process has already started. This is already there in the website, and anybody can go to the WARIS and access that.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Maybe I move to this way.
30
Okay.
seconds, I won't
Yeah.
take more than that. Just to share success, one of the success example from the platform that now it is being used in Assam. So I think one important thing after adding to trust is also confidence in the stakeholders. So generally, initially the response measure, or in terms of response, the allocations were completely based on first come, first serve basis. Okay, I'll come with my problem, I have this disaster, this flood is happening, and I get money. But now everything is based on data. So now even the field officers who are not everyone is there are people who are very introvert. They don't know how to articulate, they don't know how to come up with their problem. So now they know that we just have to download a report, come and say, see, this system is showing, and even CEO, ASDMA, or senior bureaucrat who are there in decision making, they cannot question that because it is based on evidence. So even from the Tripathi sir, CEO, ASDMA, we got this feedback that now a lot of evidence-based and data-driven decision making is happening, and he see people coming up with the reports whom they have not been able to interact earlier. So it gives confidence to field officers, to implementers, to actually come up with something as a proof to show that, okay, what we are asking for is what we need. So.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Anything from you? Okay. Let's have a last message.
Yeah,
from
just to highlight on what ICIMOD is doing on this. We've not worked on Meghna Basin, but ICIMOD is mandated to work on the Indus Basin, the Brahmaputra, and the Ganges. So recently for the Brahmaputra Basin, we have this basin dialogue. We have a network of which ICIMOD is just a secretariat, and the members who are working on them are the riparian countries. And so we are coming up with a basin assessment report. We did that some years back. Now we want an updated version. So we're working on that, but the people responsible for developing the chapters in that are the riparian nations. And here we are bringing in government officials, academics, private sectors to merge in together and bring out what their issues are, what their challenges are, and how we can move forward with that. So that is one approach that ICIMOD is taking.
Great answer. Thank you very much. So on behalf of SCI and TOSA project, thank you to our presenter, a speaker, and so also everyone who contribute your insight to this section. So thank you very much. Please have a big hand, even small. So you would like to announce anything? We can take a photo later. Yeah,
you can take the photo. I think nothing to announce. So thank you very much, Thanapon and SCI team and all the panelists for a very engaging discussion. So the day is closed for now. And the car, those people who have to go back to Novotel, I think the car is ready outside and you can leave.